It's winter. It's cold, it's wet, it's muddy, and it's depressing. But don't be scared, because here's my 3 top tips to help you catch more carp at this time of year. Tip 1. Location is vital at any time of year, but even more so in the winter. The carp's activity is far less than it is in the warmer months, which does make them harder to find. But here's a few things I think you should take note of to help locating them that great deal easier. I think the simplest way to look at it is the carp are likely to be wherever they feel they're most comfortable. This could be areas that are sheltered from the cold, biting north and northeasterly winds, or it could be areas where there's a bit of sanctuary, so where you could have dying lily beds or reed beds or old weed beds, somewhere just to give them a little bit of cover. Also, areas of a lake that are productive in the winter are likely to be productive year in, year out. So if you can do some research on your venue and find out those productive winter spots, chances are they'll be productive once again. One little trick I like to employ on well-stocked venues, where the carp are likely to be grouped up in numbers, is actually casting around with a bare lead in a bid to find the whereabouts. It's almost like spinning for carp. Obviously there's no hooks involved, but just using a spod rod and reel with a braided main line with no stretch, and just casting around with a light lead, dragging the lead back. If you reel that lead on the line over a group of fish, you'll feel a bang on the rod. And chances are, if you can find one fish, there'll be others around in the immediate vicinity. So, having found the fish, the next step is to give them something that they actually want to eat. Initially, I wouldn't look at introducing any background feed. You're not trying to attract the fish to you. They're already there, you found them, so there's no need to introduce any background feed. Instead, I would just opt to give them a nice high attract single hook bait, and these are what I like to use. These are the Northern Specials that have been boosted to the max. They've been given a serious pimpage. Initially, when I get the pot of the pop-ups, they come with a little sachet of liquid booster. I would add that sachet straight away, and after about a week, they'll have absorbed most of that liquid. I then top up with a few squirts of the booster spray and leave them for another couple of days until they've absorbed most of that, but are still damp to the touch. At this point, I would add a heaped tablespoon of betaine powder. It's a sickly sweet powder that the carp absolutely love, and it makes an awesome pop-up into a super awesome pop-up. If I'm in a swim where I know fish are present but no bites are forthcoming, then I would look to switch over to zigs. At this time of year, carp actually spend very little time on the lake bed. Instead, they'll be suspended within the water column at whatever depth they feel the most comfortable. Now, knowing what depth those fish are situated can be down to little more than guesswork. But to make it a little bit easier, I try and split the water column into thirds. Generally, I find the middle third to be the least productive. There's always exceptions to that rule, of course. When you have periods of high air pressure, I find the top third to be the one as the fish rise up within the column, and periods when it's low air pressure, I would concentrate more on the bottom third. As the session goes on, I can then increase or decrease the depth of the zig by a foot at a time, just a little bit of fine tuning until I find exactly what depth those fish are sat. So those are my 3 top tips for fishing in the winter. They have served me well over the years, and hopefully they'll work for you too.